What's up, everybody? Coach Rob here, and I wanted to give you a little update. It's getting down to the wire, and about 9 days out from the show. It's October the 18th. Today is 9 days out. It's Thursday morning, and things are getting a little dicey. This week has been the hardest week by far, because what I'm doing is I'm doing a final depletion to try to get that last little bit of body fat off. I feel like I'm definitely leaner than I've ever been, and this time around the goal was to chase conditioning. Number one, I want to be the most conditioned version of myself that I've ever been, and I think I've accomplished that. And now we're in the final days to try to dial it in and really just kind of chase a look. I'm right on the verge between light heavyweight and heavyweight for the open division, and at this point, wherever I fall is wherever I fall. Because I feel like if I look good, then that's all I can do. In the Masters 50 plus, which is the main goal, there's no weight. It's just all the 50 plus guys. So I don't have to worry about that. But anyway, yesterday, actually Monday, I'm carb cycling through the week, but everything's very, very low. We're doing some hard depletion days. My protein sources have been switched to almost exclusively white fish like cod and flounder fillets, and a lot of egg whites. And Monday was 50 grams of carbs, and I got that out of the way early. I front loaded that early in the day. I just had those carbs over my meal one and my post-workout. And then yesterday, Tuesday, more of the same, 50 grams of carbs. Protein stays consistent throughout. And then yesterday was as close to zero carb day as possible. I think I wound up with like 6-7 grams, and that's just from 2 tablespoons of almond butter, which is how I like to get my little bit of exogenous fats right now, because it's very satisfying. And so I finished yesterday with roughly 6-7 grams of carbs, super high protein, and the only fat coming from the 2 tablespoons of almond butter, and I did a little drizzle of olive oil over one of my fish and egg white meals. Today, because we don't want to go too hard and crash everything out, we're going to fill back up today. I'm doing 150 grams of carbs. And meal one, still one of my favorite things on earth, cream of rice, brownie batter whey, 2 scoops mixed in, little pinch of salt. And when you're coming off a 0 carb day, this is freaking heaven. So I'm going to try. I've got a pretty full day on the gym floor today working with clients. Got quite a bit of online work to do with my really growing rapidly online client base, and I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm going to try to post as many of these high day meals as I can today. Like I said, I get 150 grams of carbs today. We're going to fill back up the glycogen a little bit. 150 is definitely not enough to spill over. It'll probably harden me up, make me more vascular, fuller, and it'll convince the body that I am in fact not starving to death, and we can keep pushing. And then tomorrow we'll go back to a 50 gram carb day. And I have one more 0 carb day on Saturday, and then we'll put together the framework for slowly bringing the physique back up, filling it up by adding in a very structured amount of carbohydrate. And then what we want to do is I want to chase the look that I'm looking for as best I can. So we'll take in a certain amount of carbs probably on Sunday, unless I feel like I need to deplete a little bit more. And then if that's the case, we'll start slowly carbing back up on Monday, and then Tuesday, add a little bit more. Wednesday, add a little bit more. And you keep doing that until you feel like there it is. That's the look we're looking for. We're super lean, we're super peeled, but now we're getting that fullness and pop in the muscle that we're looking for. The vascularity's coming in, the separation's coming in. These are the kind of things you want to look for. And then at that point, by front loading carbs early in peak week, you can kind of pull back, hold right where you want to be. And for me, I think it works best for me that my final larger carb day would be on Friday. And then I like to be very conservative on show day. You don't need a lot. I'll probably have a little bit of cream of rice and some egg whites, maybe with one whole egg for breakfast. And then it's pretty much just things like rice cakes and jam, rice cakes and honey, maybe one other small serving of cream of rice, just to load that glycogen for the stage and get the muscles prepared for pumping up, getting the look that you're looking for, and then going out on stage. Now, what's cool is I'm going to try to be filming everything that we're doing in Charlotte. You know, me and my family, and we're going to be in Charlotte on late Wednesday, but we'll be there Thursday, Friday, and I'll be doing a lot of checking in with you guys, a lot of filming, kind of letting you see what the boring process is of those last couple of days getting ready for the show, and who knows what kind of crazy shenanigans will show up. But I wanted to check in today and try to get through some meals for you guys today. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this absolutely freaking delicious cream of rice and brownie batter whey. And then if I can get away fast enough to come back here for meal 2, I'm going to try to do that. And maybe we can keep this thing going throughout the rest of the day, or maybe not. So we'll see how it goes. But at the very minimum, I'll finish this video with a little recap of how the day ended up and what we're looking like and how we're feeling. So I'll check back in a minute. All right, everybody. So meal number 2 on my high carb day today, which again is only 150 grams. So it's not super high, but it's enough to replenish some glycogen, throw a little gas on the fire and keep things moving down, fill out a little bit, but I'm still in a very deep caloric deficit, so there's no risk of putting on any body fat, of course. But again, we want to, I want to, fill out, replenish the glycogen, kind of get that look back, evaluate the physique, and then we come back down tomorrow for a moderate day, which my moderate days are pretty low this week at 50 grams, and then we have one more, as I said, near zero carb day on Saturday, and then it's time to start meticulously filling back up. So right now we've got a cup and a half of egg whites, and yes, it's going to be a theme today. Cream of rice, a little more savory cream of rice. I don't have the chocolate whey scooped in, so this one's just salt and pepper, and the egg whites have a little bit of salt and a few dabs of hot sauce on it. So this is going to be my meal number 2. And this is at a little after 9 a.m. and this will serve as my pre-workout meal. So I have time enough to let the cream of rice absorb into the body. Cream of rice digests very, very easily. It doesn't bloat me. It's very, very clean source of energy, and it'll have me ready for leg day today. And I'm not going to go super hard on legs. We're in those final moments, and so it'll be kind of a moderate intensity leg day just to get as much blood into the muscles as possible, squeeze out some definition, push some blood around, get some vascularity in there. And so that's what today's looking like in terms of training. And then we're going to do the post-workout meal, which, spoiler alert, will probably be a repeat of meal number 1 because it just works so well, especially post-workout. You've got the whey and the cream of rice, which both, again, absorb super fast, easy on the gut, and it's going to be a great way to replenish the glycogen that we expend during the leg session. And we get that whack of protein in there as well with the whey, which also absorbs very quickly. And on a high carb day, we want to keep the fat very low. The fat is going to be extremely low today. I might do a tablespoon of almond butter with one of my meals today just to get a little bit of fat in, but other than that, we want to keep the fat super low. This is about loading glycogen and keeping lipolysis moving along. We want to keep trying to burn any amount of fat that's left on the body to prepare me for trying to achieve the best look possible on stage. So meal number 2 on my high carb day, 9 days out, cup and a half of egg whites, 45 grams of cream of rice. be back for meal 3, which will be the post-workout meal.
So as promised, meal number 3 is my post-workout meal, and it is predictable AF. It's a repeat of meal number 1. It's 45 grams of cream of rice with 2 scoops of whey protein, all mixed together, and it's yummy goodness with a little bit of salt, because salt makes everything taste better. And we had a great leg workout. Today is Thursday, right before peak week. It's been a very tough week psychologically, which is normal, but all of this week has been very low carb, one of those days being near zero carb. And of course, when you do that, you get flat as a freaking crepe. I mean, your body completely flattens out, your muscles lose all their fullness, all their pop, you're not as vascular. And then that plays with your head. All morning, even though I had a couple carb meals back in me, I, was lethargic, bummed out, a little down. You go through a doubt phase. And I think a lot of that has to do with the depletion factor of the diet, and you're getting so close and all the what ifs. And honestly, when my workout partner, when Jay came in, I was like, the last thing I wanted to do was see anyone, talk to anyone, work out, do anything. And then we went through a very simple but very great little leg workout, hamstring curls. Went pretty hard on those, and then we did just leg press and went a little harder on the leg press than I intended to, because it just felt freaking good. I had 2 carb meals in me. I could feel everything coming back to life. Legs started to fill up with blood. They started to get separated. Veins came flying out. I got vascular. I got the quad separation, which is always very hard for me just genetically. And it really started to come back to life. The blood started flowing. The carbs are moving through the system. The glycogen pump, it all just came together. And it was the best thing I could possibly do. It just felt like $1 million afterwards. And like I said, just back to life physically and mentally. We finished with 3 hard sets of leg extensions, hard squeeze at the top, big stretch at the bottom. And that was it. And then now it's cream of rice and whey, very fast absorbing. It'll get right into the muscle, reload that glycogen that we just expended. Plus I definitely have empty tanks anyway. And so this is the post-workout meal. Then around 3 o'clock, the majority of my carbs are in me. I'm a little over 100 grams, which leaves about 45 grams left. So I'll probably be a little bit more conservative on the carbs for my next 2 meals. And the next meal will be somewhere around 3 o'clock. I should be home at that point. So we'll check in then and see what's on the menu. All right.
All right, so meal number 4, I'm at home now, and training is done, post-workout meal is done, which you saw, and tanning is done. And now I have 4 ounces of flounder and 1 cup of egg whites, with a little bit of my Southwest hot mustard, which is a big prep secret for me that gets me through this stuff, and 2 plain rice cakes. I'm starting to get close to my cap for carbs today, which is 150 grams. So I'll have 2 rice cakes with meal number 4, and I think I have room left for another 2 at meal number 5. And depending on how it goes, optional later tonight is sometimes I'll finish the day with a scoop or 2 of the brownie batter whey protein, and I'll mix that with some cold water, and I'll put that in the freezer for about 30 minutes, and it makes this kind of like a hard whey chocolate pudding kind of a thing, which is actually spectacular when you're starving and deep in prep. It's like a incredible treat. But that'll be my day. Don't see a huge reason to post meal number 5 because it'll be the exact same thing. 4 ounces of flounder. Sometimes I use cod. They're roughly the same in terms of macros. It's just all protein, easily digestible protein, along with the egg whites. And that's pretty much my mainstay in the last few weeks of prep. And so we'll round out a good day, even though it's only 150 grams, which is a low high day for me. It did wake me back up, and I feel a little bit more mental clarity. I've got some more fullness, a little more pop. Then tomorrow we're back to 50 grams, and then Saturday should be my last 0 carb day, and then we start the meticulous process of filling everything back up during peak week. We'll probably front load, or I'll front load carbs early in the week, increasing a little bit each day until I find the look that I want, and then you kind of pull back a little bit, hold that look, and then prepare for the Friday before, which I'll make assessments then as to just how much I might need. And then the morning of the show, we go pretty conservative, maybe a little bit of cream of rice, maybe some egg whites with 1 or 2 yolks for breakfast. And then I'll probably just maintain, prejudging is at 10 a.m. So I'll probably just do like rice cakes and honey or rice cakes and jam, maybe with a little bit of almond butter because you want a little bit of fat with that as well. And take that up to the prejudging until I eat my now famous Rice Krispie treat right before I pump up to really shuttle those simple carbs into the muscle to get that last little bit of pop and fullness for the stage. And then hopefully everything will go well and things go my way. So I wanted to give you a full day of eating on 9 days out. It's super boring. It's super repetitive, but that's what you do. So anyway, I'm going to devour this fish and egg whites and then the 2 rice cakes, and probably going to go do about a 10 or 20 minute easy walk. I'm not doing a ton of cardio. I like to save that fatigue. I feel a lot fresher for my workouts. And I think as long as I'm maintaining 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day and I stay fairly active, that has worked extremely well for me. And dieting yourself lean, I think, is the best approach. Training super hard, super intense in the gym, and keeping yourself as fresh as humanly possible during all other times throughout the day. So that's where we're at. And make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we're going to be filming everything when we get to Charlotte, North Carolina next week for the competition, and I may even go live a few times. So definitely hit that notification bell so you know when these things are happening, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be pretty much unedited, free-flowing, just it is what it is kind of a thing. So it should be fun. So look forward to seeing you in Charlotte. Peace.